we're going to start with some of the news and notes portion before we actually get into a couple of the previews and make some picks, because we were actually super hyped about this news that dropped this morning. And there was some news that also dropped yesterday morning as well. So we're going to just chat a little bit about that collectively. U.S. Soccer announcing some of the final friendlies for the United States women's national team in 2022. Yesterday, Monday, bright and early, they announced that second fixture that's going to take place for the United States women's national team on their European tour when they head on over to face England. They will also head on over to Spain and face the Spain's women's national team. So we're very, very excited about that. And then this morning, Tuesday morning, they announced their final friendlies of the calendar year will take place in November 10th and 13th. They're going to be taking place in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, at DRV Pink Stadium, in Harrison, New Jersey, at Red Bull Arena, where they will face Germany, the 2022 Euro runners-up. I was absolutely thrilled to hear this news. I thought I was already really like excited and hyped about like, oh wow, they're going to play Spain. This is going to be great for this team. They're going to go to Europe. So they're going away. They're taking a trip. It's another, bonding experience. It's going to be another challenge for the team, having to go against the Euro winners and then a really good team in Spain. And then they just absolutely blew me away with this announcement, because it's basically the number 1 ranked and the number 2 ranked teams, FIFA ranked teams in the world, who are going to be going head to head to close out 2022. I'm so excited for this and the United States women's national team.
I am so jazzed. I mean, when they announced England, I was super, super hyped. Oh, yeah. Then Spain, it was like, okay, it doesn't get any better than this. But now the fact that they're playing 2 matches in November against Germany, right? Number 2 in the world. USA is ranked number 1 right now in the FIFA women's soccer rankings. And Germany and the United States are the only nations that have won multiple World Cups. So Germany, they've won it twice. They're 8-time European champions. But these two sides, they haven't played since the 2018 She Believes Cup when US won. Yeah, and I don't know if you remember that game, Sandra, but it was in Ohio. U.S. ended up winning that 1-0, but the weather was just crappy. It was horrible.
Was that the most memorable part of that for you? Was that the weather was terrible?
It really is, when like the weather is just so bad at a match. And at that match in Ohio, the last time USA played Germany, horrible weather. So the fact that they're playing at Drive Pink in Fort Lauderdale, huge, because, despite it being November, you're going to get not snow in Fort Lauderdale. Meanwhile, Harrison, New Jersey at Red Bull Arena, there could be some snow in November. I mean, we get it at that point, but this is such a big matchup between these two sides, and the last friendlies that the U.S. will play before heading into a World Cup year, which is 2023. But Germany is a team that's lethal, right? They also coming off of the Euros, right, where they lost to England in overtime in the final. That was 2-1. Germany was without Alex Pop. She got injured during the warm-ups. This is a team that can give the United States a run for their money. And frankly, that's what they need. U.S. fans have been complaining about, I'm going to say complaining.
Champagne problems.
Yes. Complaining about the competition that the U.S. has been playing. And it's no knock against the competition that the United States has played in friendlies, but to go up against European champions England, then Spain, who's a top title contender, and then Germany, number 2 in the world. This is how you prepare for a World Cup. I'm here for it.
Look, I'll say it's a knock. I'll say that. You could say it's now. Look, when people, talk a little bit about some of the opposition that the United States has gone up against in 2022, I'm like, stop it. You're knocking. You're being disrespectful to the opposition. I loved those games against, when they went up against Colombia, and I loved watching every single match during the CONCACAF W championships. And quite frankly, it is disrespectful when anybody was just like, these aren't serious teams, right? Don't refer to CONCACAF nations as unserious to me. I'll clown you. So I just am like, but on the other side of that, like, I am absolutely thrilled for these matches, because that was something that was coming out throughout 2022. These complications that kind of came into play for U.S. soccer when it came to trying to, nail down some opponents for the United States women's national team during this year in the lead up to the CONCACAF W Championship specifically, right? It was like, oh no, it's like this team is not being adequately prepared. These aren't suitable teams or programs to go up against. And that was just a bunch of baloney, quite frankly, because they got some good challenges during that competition specifically.
Yes.
And, they ended up coming out on top. So I think maybe this for me, it's a good transition. I think when we're looking at these 23 players moving into the end of the year, I think it's a good transition for them. This is clearly a group that Andonovski and his coaching staff has been calling in and out of camps for quite some time. And they're looking for this next phase in the build up to the World Cup to start having these types of challenges. And obviously when things come into play, like navigating this sort of evolving pandemic and like trying to get on the same page with other programs to schedule things, whether it's overseas or visiting teams coming to the United States, it turns out it's worked out kind of nicely. So now they're going to close out their year, not just against one, not two, but three top 10 ranked teams in the world. So we're talking about, England, I believe, is at number 4, obviously Germany number 2. I believe Spain is at number 8. So the fact that you're closing out your calendar year with sort of, a trio of top 10 world ranked talent, I think is a kind of a good, transgressions of things for this team.
Yeah, so USA is number 1, Germany number 2, England number 4, and Spain number 8. So 3 incredibly talented teams to close out the year. That's huge, but it's almost a little bit more important that they're different teams, right? The United States is going to face very different styles. I mean, even when you look at teams like Colombia and Nigeria that the U.S. has recently faced in those friendlies, like incredibly different.
How good was that second match?
Amazing. I mean, Nigeria put the United States under so much pressure defensively. And yes, I mean, there's a million different ways to do that. But when we're looking ahead to these fixtures in October and November, what the United States is going to see from a team like England that is reigning European champions versus a team like Spain versus a team like Germany, they're incredibly different styles of soccer, right? Spain is going to be very, very technical. They're going to try to work through the midfield. They're going to try to be really crafty on the ball and move it around. Germany, they're going to look to possess, right? They're going to keep possession of it, be incredibly physical. A matchup against the United States, England might look to go a little bit more direct. They've got some really heavy hitters in that matchup as well. So that's something that, to me, it's not the name above the crest. It's not the country on the jersey that matters. It's the style of play and how that is going to challenge the U.S. And they've been challenged in a variety of different ways. And a lot of times we've talked about with these young players, if the U.S. young players are going up opposition low defensive block, how do they break that down? What do they do? Now it's a whole different page because they're going to go against teams that are just going to run and gun at them and hit really, really hard. How do they handle that? How do they handle potentially going down in a game first and having to work their way back into a game, going up and maintaining a lead? There are so many different factors in this. And then, I mean, on the other side of it, I'm super excited to watch these matches. I mean, Germany, USA, that's amazing.
I sort of hearing you say listening to you put a date on it, like a timestamp on it, like, hey, this is actually the last time that they faced this team. And I was like, wow, that's quite some time between facing these two teams. So exciting stuff. I'm sure, we're going to keep an eye on it. We're obviously going to be doing coverage of it. So everybody, again, stay tuned, subscribe, right?
For sure. And fans who want to see Germany play, they're coming to the United States. Get to Harrison, New Jersey, get to Red Bull Arena, get to Drive Pink in Fort Lauderdale, because this matchup is going to be a World Cup matchup between Germany and the United States, 100%. Because these are the squads that, obviously for the U.S., we've already seen that consistency from Vlatko Andonovski about which players he's bringing in, which lineup he's most likely going to continue to move forward with into 2023. And same goes for Germany. This is a literally World Cup matches being played on American soil in like 3 months.
Yeah, and you want to see those players go up again's those types. I'll
be there. I'm going to get myself there. I'm like, wait,
I want to see
Lauderdale, Harrison,
dice.
I'll get there. I'll be there. I want to see this.
I know you're closer. You should definitely. We'll definitely talk about that off mic. See how we can probably get you there. Staying in the course with news coming out of U.S. soccer. We just wanted to note and keep our listeners up to date that on Monday it was announced by Sally Yates, who is leading an independent investigation into allegations of abuse and behavior and sexual misconduct in women's professional soccer, is nearing its conclusion. And it was a simple statement that also stated that a full report will be published by U.S. Soccer by early October following its completion of the investigation. So perhaps just a bit of a footnote in terms of an update of some things that are probably going to turn some eyes for sure. I would imagine an investigation that's been ongoing for the last year, quite frankly, will have some new updates. And I think folks should probably just get themselves in a mental state to go ahead and prepare to sort of receive that information.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a very lengthy investigation. It was said earlier this year by Yates that it's not just an investigation of the perpetrators and the people that did these things, but the system and the people that hired them and the people that worked around them. So it's not just the sole person that did this, but everything involving them to really get to the root of the cause to stop that. So it is a very lengthy investigation. I honestly like that they gave us a little bit of an update because we had known that towards the end of this year we were most likely going to get those results, and now it's September, first second week of September. We're getting a check-in, and they're like, "Hey, we're still working on this. October, you can expect some details." And that transparency is huge. I know a lot of people want that. They want the transparency to know kind of how this investigation went about, how it unfolded, and obviously what the results are. And then moving forward, how does this never happen again? To find the truth, make those changes, and then move forward and be better and stronger.
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that for sure, and obviously you have to comb through it and be able to chat about that with each other and inform our viewership as well. But to sort of maybe pivot a little bit into perhaps a combo of USWNT and NWSL news. We saw a couple of things drop before we hopped onto this episode. Number one, congratulations to New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC. They've extended their partnership with Red Bull Arena. So we're going to continue to see Gotham host their games in the great state of New Jersey. So congratulations to them. Lisa,
I am dying laughing at that. No, dirty Jers all the way. I can only say that because I'm from Philadelphia.
Right on. And another bit of news, we saw Tobin Heath posting to her personal Instagram what it looks like from a hospital, unfortunately, appears to have undergone a knee procedure. So we just wanted to extend best wishes, and hopefully she's on a quick up and up after that, because Rain made a move for this player. It was very, very cool to be able to see her make her return. Bit of a statement goal or two that took place for her and the Reign. That she joined up with Laura Harvey and the squad, and hopefully this will lead to the better things for both parties on the pitch here. So when there is more official news about that via the club, we'll obviously fill in the blanks there. But we'll see what happens moving forward for OL Reign.